Everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David. Baruch Hashem. Hope everyone had a wonderful Shabbos. And Shabbos was Shabbos V'Vorachim. We read about the 7 Makkos, and this week we're going to read about the next 3 Makkos. And actually leaving Mitzrayim, unbelievable. We're living in special times. We're going to see a big Gula as well, very soon. We're living that time of Gula right now. So Hashem HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send us a big Yeshua. We need it. Okay, we're learning Likutey Halachos. What a schus we have, Baruch Hashem, and we're learning Hilchos Birchas HaPeiros, which is in the second chelik of Likutey Halachos, second book, and we're in Halacha Gimel. And today we're up to letter Yud Aleph. Okay, so today, Mitzvah Hashem, we're going to finish chapter Gimel, and we'll start Dalet. Okay, so here we go. This lesson is based on lesson 37 in Likutey Moharan, the first chelik of Likutey Moharan, where again the Rebbe was giving us there are 2 different columns. That's pretty much the theme of the Torah of that lesson. There's the column of, let's say, you have of light and darkness. You have the column of the nefesh and the guf, right? And you have the different columns. So here, now the Rebbe is going to, now Rebbe Nosson is bringing another beautiful thing of why we have the 4 fasts. V'zeh bechinas arba tzoymos. Therefore, we have the 4 different fasts, and what are those? That's we have Yud Zayin B'Tammuz, right? And we have Tisha B'Av, and we have Tzom Gedalia, and of course we have what do you call it? Asar B'Teves. Okay, those are the fasts that we have. Ki mevoye b'maimar now shal yedei tainus machnian haguf v'asichlis tainu arba yesoides. Okay, so based on what we learned, the idea in that lesson, again, the Rebbe is talking about the tainus. The person fasts, he's machnia, he's subduing the koyach of the guf, because the guf says, I want to eat. I'm fasting, so you're putting down the koyach of the guf, and you're lifting up the koyach of the nefesh, right? Got it? Right? Because the body wants to eat, but the nefesh says, no, today is a fast day. So because today's a fast day, I'm not going to eat. So you're putting it. Now that puts out also all the sichlus, the silliness of the body, all the foolishness. Because again, the body is more serious when it's fasting and so on. V'nis Allah hanefesh, and of course the nefesh is lifted up. Right? Makes sense, right? The body goes down, nefesh is up. Nefesh is down, body is up. That's how it works. What? Yeah, same thing. And therefore it's specifically 4 fasts. Why? Because we have the 4 elements of creation, right? The 4 elements, we have Eish, and we have Mayim, and we have Ruach, and we have what do you call it? Ofar, right? So we have fire, and we have water, and we have the idea of wind, and we have the idea of the earth, dirt. Okay, so there's 4. So each one of the fasts is subduing another one of the 4 elements of creation, of physicality. Okay. Keneged arba yesoides shenichnoyin ayedei tainus, that they are subdued through the tainus. Ki arba yesoides heim nimshochem me arba golias, because the 4 goliases that we have, the 4 exiles, we're in the 4th one now, right? We're in the last one. Right, we're about to get out of the first one, Mitzrayim, but we learned that really all the gullies are connected to Mitzrayim, and the same way we got out of Mitzrayim, HaKadosh Baruch is going to show us tremendous Yeshuas, unbelievable. They all the Sfarim say, whatever miracles there were in Mitzrayim is child's play compared to what we're going to experience when Mashiach comes. So that's going to be pretty interesting.
You're seeing it now.
Huh?
You're seeing it now.
Yeah.
There'll be bigger ones.
There'll be. That's what we say. Eredet deploys, right? We'll see the wonders. Ki ha'ovdei kechavim keneged Yisrael. Because why? Now we said the Arba Goliaths, the four exiles. So the Goyim are against Klal Yisrael, as we see pretty good in the world today, right? All the Goyim are against Klal Yisrael, right? Bebechinas guf legabe nefesh, which is the idea of the guf. The Goyim will be considered the guf, the physicality, and we are the nefesh. Bebechinas or v'choshech, the idea of light and darkness. Again, the two columns of lesson 37. Okay. K'moisha oimrim, as we say, we just said last night by Abdullah, Mavda ben kodesh l'chol. HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes a separation between holiness and mundane. Bein or l'choshech, between light and darkness. Bein Yisroel amim. And he makes that separation between Klal Yisrael and all the nations of the world. So again, in the Havdalah we have the four connections as well, right there. Isn't that beautiful? Right? Hamalda ben kodesh l'chol, ben or l'choshech, ben Yisroel amim, ben yom hashvi l'sheishish me'amasa. Right? That's the four again. Right? We have that in Havdalah. Right? We say the four different ones. Okay. Ki or shezeh bechinas hanefesh hu bechinas Yisrael. The idea of light is like the nefesh, which is like Klal Yisrael, all on the side, the right side of the column, right? Bechinas Shabbos, which is also Shabbos. We learned all these ideas. Our Shabbos, or and nefesh and Klal Yisrael are all connected. Okay, she'ein misgaber lachni aguf. But if a person chas v'shalom is not working on being misgaber on the guf, in other words, he's not working on strengthening and giving more vitality to his nefesh, he's just giving in whatever the body wants. He does, if he does that, right? So that means he's very involved in the four elements of creation and physicality. And that's where the Golas comes from. So in other words, when we as a people are too involved in physicality, when we get too immersed in the pleasures of life and not recognizing what's important, the greatest pleasure is our Torah, following mitzvahs, right? B'haraya, a person can go and do all worldly things. As soon as they're done, whatever that thing is, they feel like, oh, now what? I need something else. I need something more. Give me something else, right? But if you finish doing a mitzvah, when you finish doing your mitzvah, you feel something good. You feel satiated. You feel like you accomplished something. Very different than anything else of worldly pleasure. Can everyone relate to that?
Sure, feels great.
You can. Okay. What?
When you do something, whatever good you do, it feels great.
Mitzvah you do. Whenever you do a mitzvah, you feel something good, right? But anything else you do something for the sake of just enjoying. At the end of the day, you say, okay, so now what?
That was nice.
It was nice, and I need something else. I need something else.
I heard you never make a kiddush on an Aveira.
Ah.
This was the most geschmack Aveira. Really, I just want to acknowledge it. Like, this was, that you don't do. Finish the sekta.
Yeah.
Do something.
No, that's true. No, but we're saying that even, in general, whenever you do a mitzvah, you feel accomplished.
Yeah.
You feel something of a sense of accomplishment, and you feel so to say satiated.
We've heard Reb Shlomo say in the name of Reb Shlomo Karlach.
Yeah.
That Reb Shlomo Karlach used to say, how do you know if what you're doing is like really holy? Because you have a feeling of like, I could be doing this Lanetzach. If I just did this Lanetzach, that'd be okay.
I'd be okay.
I'd be okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the same as what you're saying. However, I started writing a prayer on things that I'm learning.
Yeah.
And that is unbelievably, it's just...
Well, that's what Rabbi Nachman says. You take your learning and turn it into a prayer. That's what Likutey Tefillah says.
Right, but it's just no words to describe
Well, the Rebbe says, Rabbi Nachman says, it's a very good point that you bring out. Anytime you learn something, you ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I just learned this idea, and I'd like to put this into my life. Help me enact this. Help me make this part of my life. Right? To turn whatever you learned into a tefillah. It's wonderful.
Brings it into your heart.
Yeah. It becomes one with you. Okay. Shemizgabrin ha'oivdei kechavim the alma chas v'shalom. The way they oivdei kechavim, they're always mizgaber They're always trying to overpower us. Shein bechinas haguf, the same way the guf, and that's why the Ovdei Chachamim are compared to the guf, because the same way the Ovdei Chachamim are attacking constantly, trying to overpower Klal Yisrael. So is the guf trying to overpower the nefesh all the time. It's the same battle. It's one of the same. Misanin arba tzoymos. Therefore, there are specifically four fasts. Kedei lachnia arba yesodes bechinas arba golias. Again, four, because there are why four? Why were there four elements of creation? Because there are four golias, four exiles, and there's also the four elements, and that's why you have the four fasts. So the four fasts can subdue the four elements, the four golias. Good? Right? Yeah. No, we're following these fours now. Ki'ika arba tzaymas heim al golas Yisrael. Well, okay, wait a second. So the four cups are connected to the four golias.
Four comes up a lot.
No, the four cups are connected to the four golias. That's why we have the four cups. And then and that's good. And then we also know that the four cups are connected to the four elements. Right? There's a Hindi muchan when you're saying that when you have before, if you have the thing before you each kais, it talks about the different yisaitis and different things. So it's wonderful. Shechora beis hamikdash v'goli Yisrael me'atza, because again why are we fasting? Because again the first fast was like we just had now Asar B'Teves. That's when Eretz Yisrael, that's when Yerushalayim was surrounded, right? And then when it came to Shivasa B'Tamuz, they breached the city, and then on Yom Kippur, and then on Tisha B'Av they burnt the Beis Hamikdash. Well, by Yedei Nifkam Hazikaron, and that causes us to forget. V'golo me'atzam v'yedei shemis anin u'misablim al goloseinu me'eretz Yisrael. And because while we fast and we are in pain over the fact that we are in Golus, when Klal Yisrael is still in Golus, and even us living in Eretz Yisrael, we're still in Golus, right? We still don't have our Beis Hamikdash. We still have our problems. We don't have control of our land, right? We can't do what we want to do in our land. So that means we're still in Golus. We are still in Golus now. And through fasting, we bring upon us the Kedusha of Eretz Yisrael. In other words, there's one thing of Eretz Yisrael, the land itself, but there's the Kedusha of Eretz Yisrael. And that's what we have to connect to. We have to try to connect to the Kedusha of Eretz Yisrael, the holiness in Eretz Yisrael. Anyone that's misabel, anyone that mourns over the destruction of Yerushalayim, he will definitely see the Yerushalayim in its simcha v'hakein. Ayedei hataynis shel arba tzaymas, ayedei zeh nechnoyin arba yesodes. Through the four fasts, we are subduing the four elements of creation. Benis Allah hanefesh, and we lift up the nefesh, because again we said when we fast, we're subduing the body. The body is connected to the arba yesodes, right? The body is connected to also connected to the umas ha'olam. They are trying to always subdue the nefesh. So when we fast, we push down the body, which means we're pushing down the arba yesodos. We're pushing down also the arba golias. Okay, that's how the four fasts work. And the main way to reveal the nefesh is through Eretz Yisrael. Isn't that so nice? If you want to reveal your nefesh, you have to be in Eretz Yisrael. Huh? That's it.
Reveal our nefesh.
Reveal your soul. You want to find your soul, you'll find your soul best in Israel. Okay? Okay, let's, now we're going to go to any questions on that. We understand why there's four fasts, four Yisaidas, four Golias, we in Havdalah we make 4 references, right? Ben Kodesh L'chol, Ben Or L'chosh, Ben Yisrael Amin, Ben Yom HaShvil, Shesh Ben Yamasa. Right, again, we make the 4 connections, the 4 cups of wine. Okay, okay, there we've got them all. Okay, let's go to Yud Beis. Val Kain, Mivorchem Al Eze Pri, Tzrichin Le'echaz HaPri B'Yodai B'Yamin. So here's another halacha. It's a halacha in Shulchan Aruch. Whenever you're making a bracha, hold the fruit in your right hand. Now, if someone's going to say, but I'm a lefty. So if a person's a lefty, don't worry about it, because a lefty, his left hand is his right hand. Right, you understand? The left hand is the right hand for a lefty. All right, I spoke to, because I know, like, let's say my Rebbe, Rabbi Weinberger, he should be well. So he's a lefty. So you'll see always he takes everything in his left hand, right? Right, and then even his Daled Minim, right? So he holds the esrig in his left hand, he puts the lulav in the right. That's how he does it, right? Because, but we are supposed to always give preference to the right, okay? I'm only making that reference because someone will say, I saw the rabbi, he's holding it in the left, right? But you're supposed to pick up the fruit, you pick it up with the right, okay? And again, it's the same idea. I'm trying, the right side is considered the chesed, left side is the din. We'll call the right side is the side of the nefesh, and if I want to lift up the nefesh over the din, so again, I'll lift up the right side over the left side. Therefore, you take it in the right side, which is the side of chesed. Chesed is connected to the nefesh, and so on. Okay. And that's why it says by Avraham Avinu, he made the as a nefesh asher osa bechoran. Right? Avraham Avinu is connected to nefesh. Chesed is connected to nefesh. Okay, we got it? Okay. Now let's finish the halacha. Here we go. Yud Gimel v'zeh bechines yayin nisachim b'shas hakarban. Okay. So now we know while they were in the Beis Hamikdash, whenever there were karbanos going on, there were always wine libations. Right? They would pour wine on. Okay. Sha'az malin me behema la'adam, and we learned the idea that wine has 2 aspects to it. Wine has the aspect of remembrance, and it has the aspect of forgetfulness. Okay, so we would take the wine, pour the wine on the mizbeach. That's the main point of the karban, is when a person understands, he takes himself out of the realm of the animal. In other words, why is a person bringing a karban chatas, right? A karban ola, karban chatas. Why is he doing that? Because he made a mistake. He wasn't thinking, and he did something inadvertently, right? A person did something by mistake. So then he brings a karban chatas, right? Because why did he have to bring the karban chatas? Because he acted in a way of instinct, of impulse, and he didn't think. So therefore, since he acted in a way of impulse, like an animal acts on impulse, so therefore he brings the karban. Why an animal? Because I acted that way. So I was in the realm of the animal. So therefore I want to lift myself up. She'oz machniyan machnisin hayayin, right? Lahalois hayayin bebechina shichacha lezikar. And I want to take the wine out of the aspect of forgetting who I am, forgetting what my purpose is in life, to bring it to zikaron, to be able to remember. Bebechinas zichru kiyain levanon, a remembrance like the wine of Lebanon. Okay, kevetargumai keduchrin yevovos al chamar atik dimis naseh. So what does that mean? That while they would do the wine libations, the kohanim would have their trumpets, and they would be blowing the trumpets at the same time as the wine was being poured. Why the trumpets? The same, the idea of shikhacha and zikaron, the idea of forgetfulness and remembering, is an aspect of Adam and Behema. Now, as we learned in lesson 37, ki b'shas nisach hayayin hayu teikim b'chatzotzreis shezeh bechina zikaron. That's an idea of remembering as he says that K'maisha Kosev Usekatem B'Chatzaitzos Allah Lo Yisechem. You would blow the trumpets, right? Blow the trumpets while you're bringing your carbon oila. V'haya lachem lezikaron. The pasuk says it should be for you as lezikaron. So in other words, go out of the realm of forgetfulness of the mistake, and that's why the Sfarim will talk about. That's why animals were brought for the carbon for a sin offering. Because again, the person acted in that instinct of an animal. So therefore he brings the animal to lift the person up, to go out of the forgetfulness to the remembering. Isn't that a nice idea? Now we all know when we say karbanas, right? We have our section in the city that a lot of people don't get to say most of the time because they come to shul late and they didn't get a chance to say it. But every time you say the parsha of the chatas, the parsha of the oila, the shlomim, the tamid, is as if you brought it. They tell you, right? Right? You could pay back those ox, the bulls that you would have bought by saying the words. And it's a pretty good deal.
Very good deal.
It's a very good deal. Say the words, and as if you brought the... Yossi, come on.
I do. I like that.
Yossi, can I ask you a question? What does an animal cost today? What does an animal cost
An
today?
animal, like a cow? Or
Yeah.
Big bull like $4,000 or $5,000.
Thousands of shekels. Okay. Now, Yossi, so now, and if you read the parsha of the chatas, it'll take you what? How long?
Parsha chatas, I could probably
Do it in 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, 90 seconds. Yeah.
Even less, right?
Yeah.
So look what you just made now in
I
90
can't make
seconds.
that in the market, in Bitcoin, I can't, nowhere.
Right there. It's the money's right there, Yossi. Come on, it's great.
But we
Huh?
About 12
And we say all of them,
What?
but we don't bring all of them every day.
No, you don't bring, but you say them every day. You say them all today. That's why it's in the city. You're supposed to say the karbanos, right?
40,
What?
about 45 shekels per life kilo.
Yeah, you gotta afford it.
Okay, whatever. Okay, it's a lot of...
12,000.
When I left the States 6 years ago, 5 years ago, the big bull was about $7,000.
$7,000. Okay, wow, Yossi, come on. Okay, so Baruch Hashem, we finished now Halacha Gimel. We're going to go to Halacha Dalet. Halacha Dalet is an amazing halacha. Halacha Dalet is based on lesson 71 in Tinyana. Halacha and Torah 71 is a very famous Torah. Why? Because Rabbi Nachman gave this lesson over on Shabbos Shira. Isn't that interesting? What? We have Shabbos Shira next week, but whatever. It's close. It's close.
Next week.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. What was going on? There was and why did he? This Torah is a very interesting Torah. And what was going on? There was a big disagreement between the collectors of the funds that were giving money to Eretz Yisrael. They used to collect funds for Eretz Yisrael, right? And there were different people that were involved, and they wanted to have their own personal peeves, and they wanted to be the ones to have the covet, or they wanted the ones to give them money, whatever it was. There was a lot of arguments going on.
It's like the allocations at the UJA.
Okay.
They allocate. People argue for this one, for that one.
Right. So it's a beautiful lesson to really understand how to lift up and see the beauty, of Eretz Yisrael versus Chutz La'aretz. We're going to learn. If you have time to take out the Likutey Moran Tinyana lesson 71, it's a beautiful lesson. We'll try to do it now. I think it's really a beautiful lesson, and maybe we'll learn it inside. We'll see how it goes. Let's try. Okay, we'll try. But it's a very, very nice lesson. So here we go. Inyan birchas hanenin v'din kedima beperis. So here we're going to learn the idea of birchas hanenin. Anytime you eat something that you're going to partake in, that you're going to enjoy, you have to make a bracha. And the din kedima beperis, and also the order. Which one comes first, right? So in other words, if you have vegetables, if you have fruits, and then if you have fruits from Eretz Yisrael, which one do you make the bracha on first? That's what we're going to learn about. V'achashivas Peres Eretz Yisrael shekoidmin levracha, and of course any fruit that's connected to the 7 species of Eretz Yisrael will always make the preference and make the bracha on that. Al pi ha'torah chavolim naflu li b'neimim. It's lesson 71. Ayin sham heitem miroisha l'soifa. Learn the lesson, know it good from the very beginning till the end. Okay, all right. So we'll see if we can. Rav Nassan's going to give us a little bit of introduction. I'll fill it in for you. I'll try my best. But if you guys want, we can learn the lesson inside. Okay, we could. V'zeh bechinas klal birchas hanenin. This is the idea of birchas hanenin. Anytime we eat something, we want to connect ourselves to Hashem. That's a beautiful thing. So far we learned because there's a nefesh in everything that we eat, and we want to be able to lift up that soul, right? And therefore we have to make the bracha. That's what was lesson that we learned in Gimel. Now we're going to take a different course. We're going to go on a different track to understand something else about brachas. Okay? Ki ikya habracha hu b'shvil lahalos hadover lekashrei lenoyam ha'elyon. Well, here's a new concept, brand new concept. Concept of noyam ha'elyai. How do you translate it in English? I would say supernal delight.
Pleasantness, it says.
Oh, pleasantness. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Supernal pleasantness. Okay. What is supernal pleasantness? Supernal pleasantness is a place that's connected to Bina. Of Bina Elyon, the higher world. It's connected Abba Ima, right? You have what do you call Chochma and Bina. Bina's on the left side. So there's such a thing as this Nayam Elyon. Now all pleasures of this world come from this Nayam Elyon. So anything that you eat in this world that you enjoy, that we have any enjoyment of, all enjoyment comes from this Nayam Elyon, this supernal delightness. So it sounds silly to translate it. Nayam Elyon. Okay, can we just use Noam Elyon?
So it's connected to Bina, or the pleasure connected
it's from Bina. It's drawing from Bina. It's drawing from Bina. It's drawing from Bina. And look what he says now. Ki zeh yedua shetzarach adam livli lekabel hanoah v'tanug meguf hadovar shoicha v'shoisa. In other words, a person is not supposed to accept his delight and his pleasure from the thing that he's eating. Rak lahalei satanik v'ahava shemelubash b'zeh hadovar la'aloisei l'shor she'el yinch b'kedusha. Take that delight and bring that delight back to where it came from. The pleasure came from that place of Nayam Elyon. So when I'm eating, I'm trying to enjoy it. Why am I enjoying it? Because I want to return it back to its place. The same way we learned that in this food that you have the soul. That's one aspect of it. There's so many things going on while we eat. It's amazing, right? So in the food itself, there's a soul. If I make the bracha correctly, I think of Hashem. I make the bracha correctly. I eat it for the right reasons, and I realize how Hashem gave me this thing. I can redeem that soul. But now, as I'm enjoying it, I can also return the delight back to its place, its source, where it came from, this Nayam Elyon.
Is that like sort of thinking like you're sitting there and eating the cholent and not only saying, "Oh, the cholent is so delicious."
Know where it came from. Where did that delight come from?
You're also saying, this cholent is not only so delicious.
It's so lofty.
It's
lofty.
It's enabling me to
to fly.
Yeah,
To literally fly. Spiritually.
Good cholent.
Yeah, no, but then when that sholed is interesting because that's on Shabbos. We learned them about Macholei Shabbos are different than even during the week. But you can even do this during the week.
I food. I only thought Shabbos.
Okay, good. Okay, very good. Okay. V'shoyrish elyon shel kol ahavos v'tanugim hu bechinas nayim elyon. Hey, you see this? Look what he says here. V'shoyrish elyon shel kol ahavos v'tanugim. The upper love and of tanugim, anything that the people love. They say, "Oh, I love this, I love that." and I have the person has pleasure, delight in anything, where is it coming from? It's coming from this place called Noyam Elyon. Shemisham nishtal shalin v'nimshochim kol ni'imois hatamim v'tanugim. Look at that. From that place is where all the delight and all the things that are tasty come from that place. All the cooks should know that, right? We should teach this to all the cooks, right? They should know that whenever they make something good, they're connecting it up on high. Okay? Sheyesh b'chol davar b'vechinas ma yofes u'ma na'amt ahava b'tanugim. A beautiful pasuk in Shira, ma yofes u'ma na'amt. What yofi? Yofi, like yofes is from the word yofi. Beauty, what beauty? U'ma na'amt, ne'imus, right? Na'amt. Ahava is love. Where b'tanugim. Shekol ahava is shemeluba levuvashin b'chol hatanugim kulam nimshachim b'shor shema'elyam v'chinas nayam elyon. Everything is coming from this place of nayam elyon. Okay, new lesson, new concept, brand new concept. Right? There's a place called nayam. It's not new in the Zohar. It's not new in Kisvei Ari. It's new in for us maybe this concept of nayam elyon. Did anyone hear of nayam elyon before?
Noam Shabbos.
Nayam Shabbos. Yeah. No, we're gonna see something else. When we say we're gonna say, just watch. So who bechinas Yosef shehaya yefei toya v'yefei mara. It says about Yosef. Yosef had these aspects of him. He was yefei toya. He looked very nice, right? V'yefei, he was very handsome. V'yefei mara, and he looked very nice. Uv'zeu ma yofes u'ma na'am tahava. And therefore you have to make a bracha on everything you're going to enjoy, that you're going to enjoy, because I want to be able to return my delight to where it came from. I want to place it back properly. Right? In other words, it's like almost like you have a puzzle piece. I'll try something silly. You have a puzzle piece, and I want to put the piece back where it belongs. It's a very silly example, but you have something, you want to replace it back to where it started from. Through the bracha, you can raise and connect this thing l'sharshay to its shorish, where it came from. Because we said all ahava and all delights, everything comes from this place of nayam elyon. So when I make the bracha, I could return my pleasure back to where it came from. I could attribute it to that place. Maybe we could use that word. I attribute my pleasure to the Nayam Elyon. Does that work better? Lebechinas Nayam Elyon, this place of Nayam Elyon. Ki kol habrachos heim bechinas shiras v'shishbachos. Because all brachos, anytime you praise Hashem, it's an aspect of song and praise. We're praising HaKadosh Baruch Hu that He made this thing. It's beautiful. But we understand it. You're making the bracha. I'm praising Hashem that you're the one that made this. I'm praising Hashem. Therefore, all brachas are all connected to this thing of this idea of the Nayam Elyon. Okay, new concept. Okay, Bibechinas ki noim nova tehila. Look at the words over here. Ki noim nova tehila. Diksiv zamru lishmai ki noim. Sing to Hashem because His name is sweet. Shezel bechinas neim zemiras Yisrael shehevi sham Rabbeinu Zechon Levacha b'Seif HaTorah, as Rab Nachman brings in lesson 71 in Tinyana. Okay, ki kol habrachos heim bechinas zemiras tilas v'shishbachos la'Hashem Yisbarach. All brachas are an aspect of song, praise, and praise to Hashem. Shayidei ze ikar his kashrus lebechinas nayam elyon, and that's how I can connect myself back to this nayam elyon. So if you really want to enjoy something, know where the delight came from. Where did it come from? It came from this very high place of Nayam Elyon, which is connected to Bina Ilah.
You're talking about fruit, right?
Fruit or anything. No, it's not just fruit.
No,
anything.
Anything, but I don't say a bracha on the weather. They say, "Wow, look at the weather's amazing today."
No, so you thank Hashem. Hashem,
Hashem.
thank you how beautiful this weather is. Again, I'm enjoying that, so I give it back to Hashem. I realize,
So like geschmack, so people like that. It's geschmack. They have a,
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain that, but like in an ideal way, I guess it's coming from this high place.
yes, and that's they feeling that. So now you understand where it's coming from. You can place it back. It's almost like I gave the example. You have a puzzle piece. You got this puzzle piece, and you want to put the puzzle piece back. You never do a puzzle?
Yeah.
No. Let's say someone
I'm
else.
not good at it, but that's
Let's say someone else did the puzzle,
10 pieces.
and there's only like 2 pieces left.
Oh,
That's so geschmack to put those pieces in, right?
that's right. It's geschmack. Yeah.
But that's even a better thing because really Hashem did the whole puzzle. Now it's only up for me to put that piece back, and then I.
It's any pleasure that we really
Anything we enjoy,
Just say no,
enjoy it, give it to Hashem.
If your neighbors here, we would say the Eagles were winning a ball game.
That's it.
So if we're feeling joy, we can
always
Send it out.
thank Hashem
thank you,
for it.
Hashem,
And that's why it's so important to say thank you. When you say you thank Hashem for everything, you're replacing the noyam back to the name. Ki efshar ledabek ba'abori yisbarach shemay liskais lenoyam ha'elyon v'lachseis b'noyam Hashem. Look at those beautiful words we say in Tehillim, right? We sing the song Shifti Beis Hashem Koyme Chaya Lachseis b'noyam Hashem. He wants to go to the base medrash Lachseis b'noyam Hashem, in order to gaze into the sweetness, again, this place of Noyam Elyon. That's really what David HaMelech was saying. He was going to connect back to the Noyam Hashem, the sweetness. The sweetness is connected to the Bina Ilah. Ki im al yedei diburei brachos v'haidos v'tfilas v'sirus brachos shekulam heim bechinas Noyam bechinas ni'im zemiros. Now, let's just finish this. V'zeh bechinas klal kol brachos. And this is the idea of all brachos. All brachas in general. Shetrichim levarech al kol davar shenene mimenu, and that we have to make a bracha on anything that we're going to enjoy. Ve'oser lehanos me'olam hazeh b'loi bracha. We know that the Gemara tells us you're not allowed to eat and partake in anything in this world without making the bracha. If you do, you're stealing it from Hashem. It belongs to Hashem. Even though you bought it, you may have grown it, you may have bought it with your money, your hard-earned money. But until you make a bracha on it, it's not yours. It becomes yours when you make the bracha, redeem the soul, return it back to the Noyam Elyon. Then you are redeeming it. Ki tzrichim lahalos lekashe kol hanois v'atamim v'tanugim l'shorsham. We have to constantly bring back the idea of the hana. Of the things that we taste, and the tanugim l'shoshim to noyam elyon shezeh zoichen aidei bracha bekavona. How do I get that? By making a bracha bekavona. What does that mean? Make a bracha bekavona. I understand. I'm talking to Hashem.
You just said you do. What? You just said you do. You're turning it into a prayer.
No, but no. Even when you're making a bracha, David, stop for a second. Hey, I'm talking to you, Hashem. Remember, I'm talking to Hashem. Think about it. People can go to daven, they daven the whole time. They didn't think of Hashem for 1 second. I put on my tefillin, I did all these things, and they didn't think of Hashem for a minute. No, you got to think of Hashem. Amazing. Okay. Shil bechinas noyam sha'idei zeh malin amekashrin kol haves v'tanugim l'shosham lebechinas noyam elyon, to bring everything back to this idea of noyam elyon. Well, I guess we'll finish Aleph. We finish Aleph. We have another few minutes.
Yes.
Before we guys have to go. Okay. V'alkein ikar kedushas kol ha'macholim hu me'eretz Yisrael, and therefore the main sanctity of all food is from Eretz Yisrael. We said that really all foods of the world are based on the bracha, come from the bracha of Eretz Yisrael, right? Because these are all the mitzvahs that are dependent on the land. that we have over here, Truma, Meiser, we have the idea of we have Shemitah, Yovel, we have mitzvahs over here. We have what do you call it? The mitzvahs in the field that you have the Peah, Shikha, Leket, Shikha, Peah. We have these mitzvahs that are pertaining to Eretz Yisrael, not anywhere else. Shekulam b'mine machol, all of them are an idea of aspect of eating. Dahainu hashiva minim, the 7 species that are connected to Eretz Yisrael. As we learned before, in Rav Nassim taught us many times. Ki ikar hashbois nayim ha'elyon hu be'Eretz Yisrael. The main place of this nayim elyon is found in Eretz Yisrael. All beauty, all delight. That's why our fruits are the tastiest here than anywhere else in the world. Because the Nayim Elyon, the headquarters of Nayim Elyon, is in Eretz Yisrael. Isn't that nice? It's amazing, right? Now that's also connected to lesson 71. That's where he took that from. V'alkein sham be'Eretz Yisrael, ikir kedushas achila. That's where we have the main sanctity of eating is in Eretz Yisrael. Ki ikir kedushas achilu kish kezoichin lekasher hatam ba'tanig lebechinas nayim elyon. The main point of eating is taking my delight and giving it back to Hashem, giving it back to this place called Nayim Elyon, this high place of Nayim Elyon. Give my delight back to where the Tana came from.
Is there a translation for that? Noyam Elyon?
We said the supernal delight.
Oh, pleasantness.
Whatever, yeah. I just can't keep saying supernal. Please learn the word Nayim Elyon, okay?
Yes.
Okay, Nayim Elyon, right? It's simple, okay?
I'll do it.
Nayim is like from the word ne'imut, sweetness, delight, pleasantness, right? Okay. Shehu bechinas meichin shel Eretz Yisrael. That's the idea of the meichin of Eretz Yisrael, the mind of Eretz Yisrael. V'al kein ikir kol habracha shemevorchin al kol hamacholim anu lemeidin mibirchas hamazon. Like we learned this concept before. All brachas that we make, birchas hanenin, all the brachas that we make before we eat, we learn it from Birchas HaMazon. Kamay Shamar B'Scheinus Gam Levracha Hashta La'achrav. If you, the fact that the Torah tells us V'achalta V'savota V'rachta Hashem Elekecha, if the Torah is telling us that I have to if I eat and I become satiated, I have to bless Hashem. So how much more so will I have to thank Hashem before I eat if I have to make the bracha after I ate, right? Mevarach lefanav loy kol shekain. The key ikar kol habracha isu lahamchich kedushas Eretz Yisrael, because the whole point of the bracha is to draw upon myself the kedusha of Eretz Yisrael, as we learned. Right, we understand that, right? The whole point of the bracha is Eretz Yisrael, Kayach, Masav, Higil, Liyamai, right? All those things that we learned. Okay. Shul bechinas nayim elin kedei lahalais lekashe kol hahavais l'shoshem, in order to return and to bind all ahava, all love, and all delights back to its source, which is the Nayim Elyon. V'al kein lemeidim kol habrachos b'berchas hamazon ki ikar birchas hamazon hu lahamchich bechinas kedushas Yisrael. Because the whole point of the brachas of benching, the after grace after meal, is all praising Eretz Yisrael. It's all about Israel. It's talking about the land, how Eretz Chem the Teiver Chava, as the son of Hashem, right? It's all about Eretz Yisrael. Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim to bring us to Eretz Yisrael. K'may shekosav v'chalta v'rachtas al haaretz hateiva le'el kama pamim. Okay, v'al kein peiris Eretz Yisrael. Therefore, when it comes to fruits of Eretz Yisrael, right, from the 7 species of Eretz Yisrael, Kaidim levracha, they'll always take precedence. You'll always make the bracha on the fruit of Eretz Yisrael. So if you have a fruit platter wherever you are in the world, and let's say there's a date or a fig or a pomegranate, right, on the thing. I'm just giving you those 3, right? If you have any of those, you would make the bracha ha'etz on those 3 and not on the other thing, even though you may like the other thing more. But always give the present to Eretz Yisrael, because that's the headquarters of the Nayim Elyon. That's the headquarters of Kedusha. Sasha, did you realize how special Eretz Yisrael is before we were learning this?
Every day more and more.
And more. It's amazing, right? No, it's amazing. The main bracha is to draw, again, the Kedusha of Eretz Yisrael. Yes, we have the land of Eretz Yisrael, but how do we? I want to connect myself to the kedusha, to the spirituality, the holiness of the land. Shu bechinas noyam shu. No, it says Eretz Yisrael has again the guf, and then there's the neshama of Eretz Yisrael. The neshama of Eretz Yisrael, the guf of Eretz Yisrael, we live on it. But how do you connect to the neshama of Eretz Yisrael? That's the noyam elyon. That's making brachas, connecting back to Hashem. Noyam shehu shoyrish elyon shebegdusha shel kol hatamim v'havos v'tanugim ba'olam shezoichen lezeh al yedei habracha through making a bracha. Again, it's a beautiful, beautiful lesson to understand. Again, Rabbi Nachman brought this lesson in because, again, there was a big argument going on between the different collectors and fundraisers at the time of sending their money into Eretz Yisrael and who was going to do it and so on and so on. So we're going to learn about when you take the covet to someone's personal, for their own personal thing, they're taking away from the covet of the Noyam Elyon. We'll learn more a little bit about it. It's a very, very important lesson. If you can learn the lesson, it's a wonderful thing. Okay, let's do a halacha in Kids Shulchan. What's that? Oh no, there we go. That's Noam. There you go. He's a Noam. That's a Noam. There we go. Where are we up to, guys? 8. Oh, 8. Yes. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's try to do this. We're in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and we are in the ideas of Shmiras Haguf al Pi HaTeva, which is Lamed Beis, which is Leiv, Sif Lamed Beis, and today we're up to Sif Katan Ches. Hamachal Hamamutza Hu Lechem Chita. I like that. We were talking about the we were talking about this idea of the warm metabolism, cold metabolism, and we said there's some macholim that are warm, some are cold, and then there are some that are in the middle. What's in the middle? The mamutza, the middle one, is going to be bread, wheat bread. Ve'loi soiles mamish ki soiles mayachash shemesuko ach yeh gam kein kitzas meha mursan. Who in this chametz b'metzua by melech or ma'efa batana. Okay, so in other words, not I guess you're saying not flour itself, not soilus by itself. Is that what he's saying?
This is a finer flour.
Right.
And he said that takes longer to digest.
Takes longer to digest. So you.
Maybe it's not.
Soilet is the
Salt is like farina.
different.
This
It's
is-
like a thicker, whatever.
Thicker, not thinner. Right, that's what I was thinking. Right, it's thicker, not thinner. Right, so if it's thicker, it doesn't digest as easy. Right, you're saying.
I'm confused.
Soilus ma'acha mishemisako ach here by gam kitzas mehamerusan v'hu nischametz b'memutza by b'melech u'ma'efa tanur. And when it gets baked, it gets processed.
Baked.
When it's baked and it has salt in there and it's baked in the tanur, so then it makes it easier to digest, I guess. Is that?
The translation here says that the more highly refined the flour, the harder it is to digest.
Okay.
The finer the flour.
No, I know, that's not,
White flour.
that, this says it should not be made from fine white flour.
Right. That's what it says.
But that's the opposite of what,
No, it's not the opposite. Not the opposite.
I
Again,
understand.
if you take the fine white flour and you process it right, and you make it right, then it's going to be okay.
The solus is very, very fine there. The solus is what they use for the mikvah.
Yeah, right. Solus mincha v'shemen kul is right.
If it's very, today you say like the whole wheat is better for you.
Right.
And then, then this is the other, and any other baked goods are no good.
No.
Nothing,
Right.
just bread, and then other baked goods from flour, no
It
good.
says they take too much time.
No,
to
white.
digest.
No. So again, white flour we learned the idea you're supposed to use white flour, but it didn't say it has to be so refined.
Yeah, not bleached.
Not the bleach stuff, right? It can be normal flour, normal flour.
And the brain shouldn't be removed completely.
There we go. V'yesar macholim shenasa me'achita, all different things that come from wheat, einam tovim, they're not good.
Right.
So I guess cookies and all the other stuff.
All that stuff.
That's not good.
Mine
Mine basar hatoiv hu keves, and then when it comes to meat, so what's good meat? Ze keves ben shenasai v'chein agidim hayonkim. So you want to take the lamb that's a young lamb and a young goat. You want to eat young meat. You don't want to eat the tough meat, I guess he's trying to say. Small. Veal.
Veal's unborn. Veal is unborn.
Well, a kevis is a veal.
No, Kevin is liver.
Yeah, but then the doy, and that's goats.
No, with cows,
Yeah,
so veal is the young cow.
right. And they lock it up in a thing so it doesn't move much. Yeah, I know.
Taleh, right? You said that's what.
Yeah. Ach kol mine b'nei ma'ayim v'gam haroish hema loy tovim. Don't eat from them the innards and the head from it. Not good.
Liver is not good.
It says not good. What?
The Merav Yerushalmi is not a good.
Not a good thing. Hema loy tovim. Ha'izim va'para hazekena va'gevina hayeshena hema macholim royim va'ovim. Here we go. If you have an old goat or an old goat, right? No good. Old goat's no good. And a para, an old cow, no good. Vagvina, yeshena, and aged cheese is no good for you. How you like
He's
that?
not talking about old people here.
No, not old people. He's talking about animals. Right. Hema macholim royim va'ovim. How you like that? They're bad. Don't eat that. Kol basa oiv kal lisakel yoisem mi basa behema. Easier to digest chicken, poultry, I guess. Poultry is easier to digest than meat itself. V'atoy sheboifes hatar negoilis. The chicken is the best one from the bird family. Amar Arayfim, the doctors say ki hamachal she'adam rogel by, because the food that a person's accustomed to, einay mazik leiv afilu him machal ra, even if it's ra, ki hahergel nasa teva. That's interesting. Don't fill your stomach. So he's saying like this. Really, you can eat whatever you can eat, whatever you have in your place, you can eat it. But don't eat too much. Don't eat too much. Yeah, we were by the museum of the Tanakh over there, and so they told us something very interesting. They said if you take, we have in Israel these wild boars.
Yes.
These wild boars, and they're a problem, right? But they said something very, very interesting. If they would take a pink pig, a piglet, little piglet. Mm-hmm. Right? If they took a little piglet and they put that piglet together with the boars and it grew up with the boars, it would also grow the hair like the boar and it would become a boar.
Really?
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing. Mamish. It would become like that. It's fascinating. To me, that was fascinating. You would think it would you become like your surroundings.
That's what happens when you eat that stuff.
Yeah, maybe. You become a boy. Anyway, look, so he's saying like this. Basically, he's saying the most important thing is don't eat too much. Right? He says here, like he said, lo yimale crazy, don't fill up your belly. Because again, he said if you don't fill up your belly, what you're doing is you're letting the stomach to process the food. Right? The stomach produces its enzymes, and we said the gallbladder produces enzymes and it helps break down the food. And then when you don't have too much food in the belly can then contract and can expand, right? That's why we have to loosen our belt before you eat. That was a thing we learned, right? Loosen your belt before you, because you want your belly to be able to expand and contract to process the food. So he's saying even if you can't get the chicken, or you can't get this is what you have, and you're used to eating this, so eat it, but just don't eat too much, and then you'll be okay. All right, got it? Shkoyach, everyone. Have a wonderful day.